Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, so hopefully everything's good now. Um,
PSG going forward. My Wi-Fi playing tricks on me. Come on.
okay.
Piece of defending there from Roberto. Dembele looking dangerous, as is Kang In Lee and Kylian Mbappe now on the right. Kang In Lee with the shot. Parried by Ter Stegen, and that is sent behind for corner. I believe they're asking for a penalty, but Anthony Taylor signalling that there was an offside.
Okay, so this is fixed.
Mbappe, of course, upended by Cancelo there. I'm not too sure what Taylor's waiting for, to be honest.
Let's go out. Okay, so there we are, pop the prawns. Madness, absolute madness. Just take any, let's take this one. Okay. Take that away. Okay, now we can actually share it on the socials. So yeah, we have everyone that is in here. Let me check.
I tell you what, the camera looks a lot better on this device than on StreamYard.
Okay. So yeah.
They sending that for a throw. Nuno Mendes
there, we're good.
coming up to a half hour being played at the Parc des Princes. It is Paris Saint-Germain 0, Barcelona 0. Just clocked half an hour, in fact. Mendes with the throw. Fabian Ruiz trying to receive it, but eventually it's Vitinha who ends up, actually Asensio rather, who ends up receiving it, passing back to Mendes. Now it's Vitinha in the middle, passing it to Marquinhos. Dembele. Out to Vitinha, hoping to get into the penalty area. Koundé able to head away, but only as far as Mendes. Mbappe now. Mbappe against Koundé. France teammate, and eventually Mbappe loses out. And Barcelona with the chance to break. What a pass, but what an interception by Marquinhos. Ilkay Gundogan there, the former man, and a poor clearance there from Donnarumma is intercepted. And Barcelona can make something out of this if they can. Yamal into the penalty area, hoping to cross it. It goes a little bit too far, but Gundogan is able to pick it up on the left, ends up passing it back out. And some sloppiness there from PSG should end up getting punished, but it isn't. Got Moss in the chat. Big up to you, Chris. Big up Chelsea fan, of course.
Yeah.
So, Chris, first question. End of the game. Neuer on Saka, was that a penalty or wasn't it? A lot of people are saying that Saka didn't deserve the penalty. He was trying to, cheat the referee, but the referee got wise to him. And I agree with that completely.
What am I doing?
Ah, True Guna. Big up, Josh. How are you?
Chat lively.
I'll ask you that question now, Josh. Do you think that Saka should have been given a penalty?
Yep. Both on, yeah. Maybe. Yep, yourself, Josh. I know loads of people struggling with StreamYard. I'm also struggling with it. Of course, you guys can see that top right. Restream to the rescue.
And Lewandowski receiving that ball from Rafinha. Rafinha sending it in, but Donnarumma is able to get there. And actually, he doesn't get there. Ends up going behind for a corner. So PSG in all sorts of defensive trouble there. A more hopeful ball than anything. And it actually takes a touch off. Who's the number 21? Hernandez last. And Donnarumma wasn't able to get there in time. Several former legendary players sitting in the stands tonight. And there was a potential penalty check, but that should be ruled out by both VAR and Anthony Taylor. Check over, no penalty, but it is a corner. And PSG living a very charmed life in their own 6-yard box. Ooh, what a pass there. And a shot from Rafinha is blocked by the masses of PSG defenders. But PSG can now break away. I believe that was Asensio who was trying to break away, and he was brought down, and that will be a foul on Sergio Roberto, the Barcelona captain.
Seems like StreamYard is now fixed, but Restream is absolutely clear.
And we do have a bit of an update. Atletico taken a 2-goal lead against Dortmund.
Yeah, Griezmann, beautiful ball, and 2-0. So we'll change that.
Let's not forget, Bayern also should definitely have had a penalty after another moment of bozo madness from Magalhaes picking up the ball after the whistle had blown. Neuer didn't really stick out that leg. If you take a look at the replay, Saka's right leg was sort of, in an unnatural position. It does appear to me and to a lot of people that he did stick that right leg towards Neuer in an attempt to try to cheat the referee and get a penalty. And a lot of people are saying that Saka should have had the initiative to try and get around the goalkeeper and try and score. So, in any case, I have to say that we were lucky to come out of that game with a 2-2 draw. Bayern Munich had the better chances. All to play for at the Allianz next week. Started brilliantly, I won't lie, but defensive errors.
We'll see what happens.
Luis Figo, former Barcelona player who, of course, crossed the divide to play for Real Madrid. AFC Always. Not angry, disappointed. Where have I heard that line before? Lamine Yamal receiving the ball into the penalty area, but Donnarumma should get there first, and he does. But is it too late? Yes, it is too late. And Rafinha has sent it into the net. Barcelona 1-0 up, 37 minutes gone, and you can literally hear silence among the PSG fans, but the Barcelona supporters are loving it. A nice way of Javi to say, "Take that, mister. You do not undermine me in public and expect to get away." And yes, Master called it, and I'm on the TV right now. Wonderful work from Yamal on the right. The pass was inch perfect, but with nobody there to cover Rafinha, it was just a simple task of him receiving the ball and trying to divert it into the net, and that's what he was able to do, despite the best efforts of Lopez, Beraldo, and company. So, could this be the end of PSG's Champions League dreams for yet another season? Yep, AFC always knows the score. Wasn't a penalty on Saka. Flicked his leg out, and it made the contact. So, well spotted indeed. And hopefully, that matter can be laid to rest. 2-2, we go again, and we should be grateful that the away goals rule is no longer in vogue. But I would definitely say, in lieu of the results we had last night, that the decision to scrap the away goals rule has taken away so much intrigue and jeopardy from the second leg. It's really, taken away the drama. And I remember speaking about it in an earlier stream on this channel. It's as if effectively, all four teams get to go again. Just in case you think I'm being anti-Arsenal, let's not forget, had the away goals rule still been enforced, we would have beaten Sporting Lisbon and gone through in the Europa League. Probably would have been knocked out by Juventus in the next round, but hey.
Who knows? So it has been shared. Yeah.
And AFC always spot on. We had to win the first leg because the second leg will be tougher. And of course, in the
definitely in the right free kick should have been awarded.
Agreed, absolutely agreed. And it is Koundé once again up against his fellow countryman, Yamal, the young Spanish starlet. Back to Koundé, De Jong, and. Is that Cancelo? I'm not too sure. That is Araujo. He's the one who's dyed his hair beach blonde.
Sure. Yeah.
Yamal again. What an outstanding game he's had so far. Another per cross. It finds Lewandowski, but it goes just outside the penalty area. And Lewandowski has to try to evade Marquinhos, ending up passing it back. It's with Sergio Roberto now, who was booked earlier. Yamal again. Koundé. Araujo. Kubalsi, the number 33, in the starting lineup. And confirmation that with 5 minutes to go, plus stoppages, it is Paris Saint-Germain 0, Barcelona 1. Could we have a shock here? And of course, last time these two sides met in the competition, we had that memorable tie where PSG beat Barcelona 4-0 at the Parc des Princes, only to lose the return leg at the Camp Nou 6-1. Had it been 5-1, PSG would have gone through on away goals rule. And who was the PSG manager then? A certain Unai Emery. But that PSG team then isn't quite as good as this PSG team now. And that Barcelona team would give this current team an absolute hiding, it must be said. Vitinha. Dembele. All the way out to Kang-in Lee. Vitinha. Beraldo. Vitinha. Dembele. Into Mbappe in the penalty area. Kubasi sticking to him like glue. Mbappe can't get through. Passing it out to Kang In Lee, who of course scored that brilliant goal to beat Portugal in the World Cup, I do believe. Or was that He Chan Huang? I don't quite remember. Dembele now into the penalty area, running through. But and Cancelo unable to break away, but De Jong... Huh?
I think Genesee, Osimhen going to PSG in summer because Mbappe going to Madrid.
It could happen. It could happen. It could happen. I certainly don't believe Osimhen will be coming to the Premier League, but he would certainly, not be out of place in the top European league. And if it's PSG, then so be it. And of course, with Atletico Madrid leading, should be offside against Mbappe, but the flag stays down. He's in the penalty area, but some great defending by Kubasi, and eventually the flag does go up. So, Kylian, you're Kylianing yourself. Kylian yourself. Kubasi, they're sliding in at the right time, sending that over, and Yaman also getting stuck in against Beraldo. This is proper quality Champions League football right here. Are you keeping an eye on Atletico against Dortmund, Bert? Hanno?
Yeah, I got it on my side. Just when he agrees, he thinks he goes to PSG.
Very hard to find anyone who will replace Mbappe, and one wonders if it's his attitude that's causing him to end up saying goodbye to Paris Saint-Germain. How can he still remain France captain? But Deschamps has made his decision. We've got the France captain playing on my team. We've got the France vice captain playing on Hanno's screen. And it's the France vice captain who scored the second goal tonight. Now we've got the Poland captain, Lewandowski, to the Spanish starlet, Yamal. Just in the penalty area, but being forced out. Lovely little back heel. Sergi can't quite get into it, but he does find Lewandowski, and I do believe the flag has been raised. Offside against Barcelona talisman. And in a huge turn of events, it could there is a possibility, of course, that Lewandowski could come up against Bayern in the Champions League final. But I think it's fair to say that the chances of that are very, very slim. Having said that, of course, Barcelona are 1-0 up tonight. Beraldo. Hernandez. Beraldo. Sending it forward. Finds Vitinha, who passes it back to Marquinhos, the captain. Now Asensio, the former Real Madrid midfielder. Kang In Lee. Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz back to Vitinha. Kang In Lee. In the penalty area. Up against Cancelo and De Jong. And forced to retreat. But he does have Vitinha and company in support. And that is sent forward by Beraldo to Dembele to Nuno Mendes on the left. Into the penalty area, but once again, the Barcelona defending has been absolutely spot on. Kubasi having a stellar game tonight. And a huge battle over there to see who gets the ball. And eventually, I'll tell you what, this is great stuff here from Rafinha, but nobody there to support him. Eventually, Yamal comes in, and for some reason, has the offside flag been raised? I'm not too sure, but nobody was expecting Rafinha to literally strip Hernandez of the ball like that. That is brilliant. Outpaced him there. And I think it was fatigue that really got the better of Barcelona in the end. 2 minutes were, of course, added in the melee, but 1 Minute and 20 seconds has just been played. So we've got 40 seconds until the end of the half here at the Parc des Princes. Gundogan.
It's a corner to Atletico. 1 minute added on in the Atletico game.
Yep. Griezmann with the corner, but headed away.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure a lot of Leeds fans will be looking at Rafinha and saying, "You jammy so-and-so. This is why you left us." But hey, you can't begrudge him. And it is half-time at the Parc des Princes, and it should be half-time over at the... No, it's not half-time yet, the Civitas Metropolitan, and Dortmund with a chance, but that goes over from, I believe that's Sancho wearing the number 10. Up against former Chelsea captain Cesar Azpilicueta there. Now, though, it should be half-time, and the players will be going in for the break. So, from what you've seen of the game, Hanno, obviously Atletico have been the superior team. What do you think Dortmund have to do to try and get back into this match?
I think midfield-wise, they have been just really been dominated, Dortmund, but yeah, 50-50. I don't think Atletico has stormed them off the park. I just think it's been cagey. A few mistakes from Dortmund led to the goals. That's all. That's my assumption of the game.
Yeah, well, certainly there were some defensive mistakes from PSG's side, which led to them eventually falling behind. And if they do fall behind here in the first leg, then it's all to play for them at the Camp Nou. They've got so much riding on it.
AFC always saying also need a top striker who would score so much goals. We missed so many chances. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that Ben White chance was massive. Yeah, I think Tony is the man. He's the man. That's just Van. That's the one good decision this ownership has made, because that's a really good signing for the women's team. Manny, of course, you love Zinchenko.
I don't love him. Look, he's a quality midfielder, but he's being played out of position as a he can't defend for toffee. And as far as Jesus is concerned, well, you know, he hasn't added too much value to the Arsenal side, let's be fair, although injuries have not been his best friend. He's an improvement on Lacazette, but nothing more than that, and we need more than that. And clearly the decision to get those Chelsea rejects has not really been vindicated, and it's fair to note that immediately after these two left, they City won the Champions League and the treble. And yep, it is Ruben Amorim, the manager of the Sporting Lisbon team that knocked us out of the Europa League at the second round stage last season. That was a disgraceful performance because they were there for the taking. Two of their first teamers were suspended, but then Antonio Adan had the game of his life. And the less said about Aaron Ramsdale, the better. Speaking of Ramsdale, Hanno, what was your opinion on the rumours of Chelsea possibly trying to snap him up?
Absolutely false. Yeah. If it
Utter
is
rubbish,
true, I
one would
prefer
say.
not to speak. If it is true.
Yeah. I mean, you're better off with Bobby Sanchez and Georgi Petrovic, to be honest. And you've also got the
Sanchez,
Fulham reserve.
yeah.
You've also got the Fulham reserve goalkeeper Bettinelli on your books. The former Fulham reserve goalkeeper, I should say.
But yeah, BX kind of haven't seen you in a while. Just thinking they can get in Madrid play. It's laughable. I don't know who said that. It was not me. So yeah, unless there's been a rumor come out. So yeah, I was trying so far out from a score that led to a symbolic goal. Yeah, I get you, but if you're Gabriel, why are you even? Why even playing that pass back and just kick it out for a throw in or kick it up the field? So yeah, that's my fault. I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. AFC Alls is absolutely right. What Raya did there was absolutely shambolic because, look, as a goalkeeper, you sometimes got to have faith in your defender that they can really handle it. His decision to rush out that far would certainly have had Magalhaes caught in two minds there. And it was bad enough that he was put under extreme pressure, I think. It might have been Kane who put him under pressure. I don't remember who it was. But under pressure, that pass wasn't really the best. But Raya had no business rushing out like that. And the way he, moved a bit further, moved to the right before Kane actually took his spot kick, I think that was just stupid. And it's a perfect reminder that this bloke, having played for the likes of Blackburn and Brentford before joining Arsenal, this was a really big moment for him, and he absolutely bottled it, I thought. And we're going to have the same thing again and again and again with all of the goalkeepers we have had since Emi Martinez proving to be utter rubbish when the pressure is on. In stark contrast, we all know about Emi and his Aston Villa team will be playing Lille tomorrow. Also expected to defend the Copa America with Argentina. And still, his Aston Villa side are very much expected to qualify for the Champions League, whether in fourth place or in fifth place. And you just know that Spurs will bottle it later down the line. But in stark contrast, Ramsdale bottled Europe, bottled the league. Leno bottled the Europa League and also ended up sending us out of European competition. I'm just taking a look at the Atletico Dortmund highlights there. What Kobel was thinking passing it to Maatsen was, I'll never know what he was thinking. That was absolutely diabolical. And Atletico Madrid well on course for yet another Champions League semi-final. And they will face the winner of the PSG Barcelona tie. Shambolic defending. Griezmann, the France vice-captain involved in the goal, didn't score the goal. It was the number 12, Lino, who did, receiving that pass from him and slotting it past Gregor Kobel, the Swiss number 2. And that's the way the score is. So once again, AFC Always, back to your statement. We're going to have another situation where Raya will make a few mistakes, having second season blues. We have to get another goalkeeper in, and the whole freaking cycle will start all over again. We should very well have just kept Emi at the club. Ridiculous. And made him our number 1. But it is what it is. June 14th, the start of the European Championships. Germany up against Bunny Scotland. Should be a cracker. Sorry for the radio silence, everyone. Nothing much really to talk about. Obviously, we got some good action tonight. I probably got the better game of the two, but Atletico and Dortmund is also certainly not a game for the faint-hearted. Dortmund trying to continue their impressive tournament, but I do believe that they will end up on the losing side. Inter Milan will be kicking themselves for losing to Inter the way they did. As Chelsea fan has said, make sure you keep hitting the like button.
Money. Can you just check Insta?
Yeah, I just saw that. And are you logged out, or what's the story?
No, I might have to go in a second. So just if I need to go, then you can just still have it on.
You'll have to check that back. I'm just sending you a message right now. So you want me to leave the stream and come back?
Yeah, see if you can come back, log in.
All right, let me try.
So yes, people, do listen to Chelsea fan and smash that like button. Of course, as I say, we scores 2-0. Dortmund have to get at least one back. I think a two goal deficit is too much to go back. PSG, I reckon they get a goal. So yeah. But tight, man. It's tight. I haven't checked. Let me check. Okay. Just going to try now. Got money here. Okay. Set it. Okay, but yeah, be up everyone. Money should be joining in a few seconds. So yeah, but yeah, what's everyone saying on this game? The second half has kicked off. Atletico Dortmund. Dortmund are playing with the ball. So yeah, let's see. You have controls now, Money?
Yeah, I can see everything, and I've joined at the right time because PSG have just equalised. Dembele on 48 minutes.
So yeah. If you go to captions, you'll see this.
Yes. I see it. I see it. Thank you. Very similar. Yeah, very similar.
If you want, you can delete the rest.
Yep.
But then
Well,
again,
basically work on the left.
useless.
Mbappe keeping it in. Araujo trying to send it away, but Dembele doing some great work and sending it high into the net. No chance for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. twisting and turning De Jong always to Sunday, and that was a fine strike. Mbappe pretty much at the heart of it by preventing that ball from going out for a goal kick. Could Ter Stegen have done any better? Probably not. He was sort of blinded, really, by his defenders. And so it's 1-1, all to play for. And of course, one of PSG's more notable results in the group stage was when they salvaged a 1-1 draw against Eddie Howe's Newcastle thanks to a breathlessly late Kylian Mbappe penalty. And Newcastle, after that, couldn't quite get their act together in the Champions League and ended up exiting. A real shame because they certainly made a magnificent fist of it up against the teams they played. Paris Saint-Germain, AC Milan, and... Man, I forget. Of course, Borussia Dortmund. And looks as though PSG had, in fact, made some changes at half-time. Going to take a look at that right now. Ooh, Vitinha now, and Vitinha has made it 2-1. Paris Saint-Germain are rampant. I don't know what Luis Enrique told them at half-time, but it's worked a treat. And Dembele doing his bit to inspire the crowd. Some great work there from the number 29. That's a substitute. Kang In Lee, of course, working on the right. Fabian Ruiz with that brilliant pass, and Vitinha sliding it past Kubasi and Ter Stegen into the net. And after a brilliant first half from Barcelona, they're now 2-0 behind, and you can see how much it means to the former Barcelona player and manager, Luis Enrique Martinez Garcia. And I had some television problems, so I don't think I was able to catch who the halftime substitute was. I'm just trying to get the lineups as well, once again. But Barcelona now have it all to do. It looks as though Xavi has responded by deciding to make a change of his own. We will see who it is. And it was, in fact, the number 29, Bradley Barcola, who came on at half-time. Lewandowski with a header, but ended up heading it the wrong side of the goal. It's still with Gundogan. Barcelona beating a bit of a retreat, but they can certainly come back. Kubasi now sending it forward. And Roberto there doing brilliantly against Ruiz. Cancelo into the penalty area, but that was long, and Lewandowski wasn't going to get on the end of that. Yep, Barcola coming on for Marco Asensio, the former Real Madrid midfielder / winger, not really having the best time of it, has to be said. And, oh boy.
Dortmund have been more attacking this half, if I have to say so.
Yeah, but defensively, they've got to be sharper. Conceding those 2 goals was certainly not on their agenda. Hernandez passing it back to Donnarumma. Donnarumma sending it forward. finding Mbappe. But Barcelona win the ball, and it is Lamine Yamal doing brilliantly, going past Mendes and Ruiz, but Beraldo is there to put a stop to all of that. But Barcelona still can't clear. PSG still can't clear their lines, and Barcelona win a throw. It is Koundé who will take it to Roberto. Back to Koundé. Back all the way out to Kubasi, I believe. Yep. And Rafinha there, but his pass unable to find anyone. And it is Barcola now, down the right. The impact sub has made an impact so far. And this time around, he stings the palms of Ter Stegen, and that goes for a corner. And this fella has certainly looked very lively indeed. Ter Stegen, in fact, palming it onto the crossbar. Not very effective goalkeeping there from the German number one, expected to be Julian Nagelsmann's first choice. The corner's taken short, and Rafinha concedes another corner. And PSG unable to do very much with that corner and forced to beat an almost hasty retreat. But it is Hernandez who finds Barcola on the right. Interplay there between Barcola and Fabian Ruiz, but that goes straight through to Ter Stegen.
Good block on the edge of the penalty area from one of the Atletico players leads to a Dortmund corner.
Still more than half an hour to go at the Parc des Princes. Enough time for Barcelona to try and stage a comeback, but they are going to have to solve the problem in the left side of their defence, which has been very well exploited by Barcola since coming on. Dembele now on Barcelona's right. Mbappe in the penalty area. What can he do? He can win a corner off Araujo. Twisting his countryman Koundé always to Sunday. And Barcelona making their first substitution right now. I'm going to find out who it is. But the substitution will only take place after the corner. Short. And Kang-in Lee to, I believe that's Vitinha. And unable to find anyone on the far side, and that will go out for a Barcelona throw. And actually, that was Kang-in Lee who crossed that in, not Vitinha. I should apologise for that. Cancelo to Rafinha, back to Cancelo. Kubasi sending it forward, finding Lewandowski, who controls it very well, and has to keep the ball in play. But PSG take it back from him. Fabian Ruiz. Dembele to Vitinha. Ruiz. Back to Vitinha. Marquinhos. And Vitinha again being the engine, really, of PSG's attack so far. Dembele, that was Nunes rather, not Dembele, and it is Mbappe now down the left. Finding Mendes in the penalty area, but the defence stands firm. Hernandez now, though. Vitinha. And some more attacking down PSG's right. Hernandez eventually passing it back to Marquinhos. Sends it forward to Ruiz. And that's a pass back to Beraldo. Then to Vitinha, back to Marquinhos. Beraldo to Ruiz. And the second half, PSG's ball possession has said it all. 63% with 3 attempts on target. 2 of them in. Kang-in Lee up against Cancelo, and Cancelo doesn't bring him down, and Anthony Taylor's not interested in that penalty appeal, and rightly so. And Barcelona eventually clear their lines in a rather cynical foul there from Fabian Ruiz, which should perhaps rightly be punished with the yellow. Well, I'll tell you what, though, this could very well end up going... No, not really, no. Cancelo never really attempted to trip him up, and it's fair to say that he fell on his leg. And we have Warren Zaire-Emery coming on for Kang-in Lee for Paris Saint-Germain. There's a double substitution for Barcelona now. Both teams now having made 2 substitutions each. The impressive Yamal being brought off. For
substitution. And for Dortmund, Füllkrug off and Haller on.
Very nice. And it looks as though Captain Sergio Roberto will be going off, and he'll be replaced by the number 8, Pedri. Ter Stegen sending it forward. Doesn't find anyone, though, along the ground. A risky pass in many ways, but fortunately there were no PSG attackers able to intercept that. Beraldo. Intercepted. And Barcelona can try and make them pay, but Gundogan trying to do a bit too much there. Barcelona midfielder and former Manchester City captain with a back heel. Not received, but it is with Rafinha now, and Barcelona have equalised. Or have they? Yes, they have. The celebrations continue, and it's that man Rafinha again. 62 minutes. Boy, do we have a classic on our hands. Champions League knockout football at its best. Well, it all started really from another defensive mistake, I would say. Pedro sending it forward, though. And Rafinha firing it low and true past Donnarumma. No chance for the big lumbering Italian goalkeeper. What a pass that was from the substitute Pedri. So another impact substitute, this time for Barcelona. And a bit of a talking to there between Rafinha and Anthony Taylor. I'm not sure why. But that's 3 attempts on target and 2 goals for the Brazilian. And just about 27 minutes to go, plus stoppages. Who will emerge the winner here? How's the chat looking, I want to know. Yep, agreed, Chelsea fan. It is a quality game so far. Hernandez with the ball, having to retrieve it and pass it to Marquinhos in the centre. And sending it beyond the halfway line, finding Kylian Mbappe. And Mbappe is, in fact, offside. And Marquinhos, of course, was the unfortunate Brazilian who whose penalty miss condemned Brazil to a quarter-final defeat at the hands of Croatia at the World Cup. Hoping to make, obviously, some better memories at club level. And once again, there's a problem with the TV transmission on my side. I'll have to wait for it to be resolved, and hopefully it'll come back better than ever. It has come back, and there's a foul there. Vitinha, the guilty party, is being booked, and we're going to take a look at that right now. I just had to switch off the screen and switch it on again. Vitinha, of course, the scorer of the second goal tonight. And a high foot there on João Felix, and not the best impact there, really. I don't know if Felix necessarily made a meal out of that, but Taylor had no real option but to book him. Rafinha now. Koundé. De Jong. Double teamed, but well retrieved, and eventually it is in fact a Barcelona free kick for a foul on De Jong. Cancelo trying to send it forward, and João Felix can get to that, and he does, into the penalty area, but was sort of across the penalty area, and I think Gundogan was trying to get to that, but just couldn't get there. Hernandez sending it forward. Dembele. Barcola. Araujo. Pocket is picked by Zaire-Emery, but Zaire-Emery's fellow number 33, Kubasi, is wise to that and clears it brilliantly. And now it is with Pedri. Lewandowski. Rafinha. All on his own, but working his magic against the PSG midfield. Eventually it's back with Pedri now. De Jong. Despite Zaire-Emery's best intentions, De Jong was able to control that. It's back with Ter Stegen now, though. Lewandowski. And this is potentially dangerous play from Barcelona because they've got an army of blue players circling around them, and eventually PSG do win the ball back, but it goes all the way back to Donnarumma. Hernandez. Barcola. Zaire-Emery back to Barcola, back to Hernandez. Marquinhos. And eventually finding Dembele. Finds Mbappe now, who can try and run. And yes, he does. He's got that burst of pace. But he's being taken away, though. Has to find Barcola on the right, which he does. And foul. Well, there's no foul against Cancelo there. Anthony Taylor clearly believing that Barcola was trying to make a meal of that. But Barcelona cede the advantage with João Felix conceding a throw. Zaire-Emery. Marquinhos. We have just passed the three-quarter stage of the game. It is still Paris Saint-Germain 2, Barcelona 2, and we have had an absolute classic so far at the Parc des Princes. I think asking me to change the scoreboard. I want to find out. The scoreboard doesn't need to be changed, but I've got it covered. Don't worry about it. It is, in fact, a Barcelona free kick in a potentially dangerous position. Gundogan, Felix, and Rafinha standing over it, of course. Former Premiership trio over there, trying to play a hand in eliminating Paris Saint-Germain from the Champions League. It looks though it could be Rafinha who takes this one. 26 meters between the ball and the goal. Wall being prepared. Let's see what Barcelona have up their sleeve. Making sure the wall's in place and Rafinha now with the kick. Through the wall, but straight into Donnarumma's hands. It was along the ground, really, so it was never really going to cause the big Italian any trouble. Not exactly the cleanest of handling there, but he's made it work. And once again, we've got some transmission problems with my television. We'll have to wait for that to get resolved. Seriously don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's the satellite in my neck of the woods. I don't know.
Yes, man.
Bad enough that StreamYard wasn't working tonight. Now I've got problems with my TV. And they still haven't quite been resolved yet.
Can you hear me there, Manny?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to quickly go now.
Yeah, that's all right. You can leave. I've got the control.
So I'll handle thank you for covering that. So yeah, be up everyone, and see you guys tomorrow for more content. Cheers, people.
Cheers, bud. Have a good night. And dang it. Once again, my TV is causing problems. I will possibly have to try and switch off my decoder and see if that will work. If I miss any really good action, I am going to absolutely be livid. Well, we had a wonderful game of football at the Parc des Princes. Wonderfully competitive. Both teams really going at it. And I will, of course, refresh the BBC Sport page on my side to see if there have been any changes to the situation. Thankfully, of course, no goals at the Parc des Princes, no more goals at the Civitas Metropolitan either. You better work this time. Oh, for Pete's sake, man. This is ridiculous. Please let me see if the other sports channels I've got are coming. Well, I do have Star Sports, which is currently showing highlights from Premier League action, but we're not here for the Premier League. We're here for the Champions League, you absolute mugs. Well, when all else fails, go to the main page on bbc.co.uk. Not sport. And over at the Civitas Metropolitan, there was almost a second for Samuel Lino and a third for Atletico Madrid. Schlotterbeck defending Lino very well after that ball in by Marcos Llorente, the ball gliding across the 6-yard box. And all I can say is shame on you, 10 Sports. Today has not been a good day, people, and I do apologize for all of the inconveniences. Might possibly have to try watching it on Twitter. This is absolutely ridiculous, people. I'm really sorry to say all of this. Yeah, well, there is, in fact, a substitution that's been made. Rafinha's gone off after scoring 2 goals. Not too sure why, to be honest. And I'm able to eventually get some kind of coverage here. Wonderful pass into the penalty area, but some desperate defending from Nuno Mendes, and it had to be because, I'll tell you what, wonderful ball there from João Felix. And there was a Barcelona attacker trying to run onto that, but just couldn't get there. Nuno Mendes coming over there to clean up eventually. So, and Barcelona have actually taken the lead from the resulting corner. Going to take a look at it right now. Gundogan with the corner and head it in brilliantly. Christensen, the substitute, has headed it in. And it looks as though it's all going wrong for PSG tonight. I'm just so glad that I was able to catch that, to be honest. I will, of course, now get you up to date with everything. And once it refreshes, you'll see everything there. And of course, in that delay, PSG actually hit the woodwork as well. Vitinha drove to the edge of the area, playing it out to Ousmane Dembele on the far left. On the left, and the Frenchman slotted it into hoping to slot it into the far corner, but it clipped the outside of the post. So it was Dembele who got that. And once again, my TV is acting up at the worst possible time. At least I should be able to possibly take you through to the end. João Felix there, controlling the ball. Cancelo to Felix. Kubasi, who's had a magnificent game in the heart of the Barcelona defence. And Marquinhos eventually taking advantage of an unfortunate slip there. That might have been Felix who slipped. Donnarumma. I will, of course, update you now. There were two substitutions, really. It was Ferran Torres who came on for Rafinha and Andreas Christensen who came on for Frankie de Jong. Still no change in the scoreline at the Civitas Metropolitan, but my focus is here at the Camp Nou. Nuno Mendes. Mbappe. Fabian Ruiz. Hernandez. Barcola. Vitinha. Marquinhos. Zaire Emery. All the way across to Nuno Mendes. Mbappe retrieves that, but only just. He sends it out to Vitinha. Vitinha finds Barcola on the right. Barcola trying to get into the penalty area. Finds Mbappe, but he's taken away from goal. Can Ruiz make something of it? No, he can't, and Barcelona can try and clear their lines. João Felix. Kubasi. Felix to Cancelo, who's also done well tonight. Back to Felix. Back to Kubasi, who has to pass it all the way back to ter Stegen. And ter Stegen ends up sending it all the way to Donnarumma. And could this potentially be Kylian Mbappe's sad farewell to the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain? Should be able to celebrate another Ligue 1 title, but it's the Champions League that PSG have wanted for a long time. And it would be a bitter irony if the following season PSG do go on to win it without him in the team. Koundé. Ruiz ends up intercepting that, but I'll tell you what, Paris Saint-Germain's defenses look very sloppy as we clock 80 minutes now. 10 minutes to go plus stoppages. Still Paris Saint-Germain 2, Barcelona 3. Andreas Christensen with the go-ahead goal. And elsewhere, Gregor Kobel made a point-blank save from Samuel Lino to keep it at 2-0. So they're still technically in the tie. Jose Jimenez got booked for a foul to stop the Dortmund attack. And Andreas Christensen scoring there. That is what you call an impact sub. And Anthony Taylor signaling a free kick. Marquinhos there bringing down João Felix. Rather cynically, it must be said. João Felix. Unable to go it on his own, but Barcelona can still come back. It is with Cancelo now. Back with Cancelo from Pedri. But dispossessed there by Hernandez. And Hernandez now can go forward, but impeded illegally, and Anthony Taylor signals a free kick. Power Kubasi, the number 33 there. A yellow card for pretty much wrestling Barcola to the ground. You don't get to do that. And just how big of a result could this potentially be for Barcelona? PSG still perhaps haunted by the ghosts of that crazy, crazy Champions League tie several years ago. Barcola. Zaire Emery now. In the penalty area. He's had to come out, but it's with Barcola. And some important defending there from Ferran Torres, but Mbappe to Ruiz. Blocked. Vitinha, though, can try and make something of it. Passes it to Hernandez, retrieves it back from Hernandez, Vitinha. Marquinhos now. PSG being forced to retreat. Beraldo. Nuno Mendes. Back to Beraldo from Dembele, and Marquinhos has to try and play it forward, which he does. Vitinha sending it across to Barcola on the right. And eventually I get the thing back. And it looks as though, well, for some reason, they're checking a possible penalty, but the check is complete. There won't be a penalty. And Barcelona about to make another substitution. I do apologize. The TV over on my side has been causing all sorts of problems. Thankfully, touch wood, it should be okay. And huge update. Sebastian Haller has, in fact, pulled a goal back for Dortmund against Madrid. So it is game on at the Civitas Metropolitan. And a substitution for PSG. Fabian Ruiz off for Gonzalo Ramos from the looks of it. But Barcelona can now try and play it forward. Four and a half minutes to go plus stoppages. And Gundogan in the ensuing melee has been taken off. And I'll find out who his replacement is by just refreshing the screen. It's all been going on over here. We've had issues with StreamYard. I've had issues with my TV. And we've tried to bring you something tonight. And I hope you can all appreciate what we've done for you. And once again, some pretty desperate defending there. Not very good defending because Barcola was able to retrieve the ball, but eventually Barcelona can clear it. But Hernandez picks Cancelo's pocket. Forced back, though, by the Barcelona substitute. It looks as though it is Fermin Lopez who came on for Gundogan, and that should be confirmed. And Dembele in the penalty area. Can he repeat it? Well, I think he was trying to aim across for Mbappe to get on the end of that and head it in, but ball was a bit too far ahead of him there. Great work once again from Barcola. Kubasi completely missing it and making a meal of it. Not too sure what Dembele was trying to do there. He was actually trying to cross it, really, but Mbappe was never going to reach that. Yep, Fermin Lopez has come on for Ilkay Gundogan. And Barcelona have now scored 3 goals in the Champions League knockout game away from home for the first time since April in 2015. Also at the Parc des Princes against Paris Saint-Germain. So I'll tell you what, PSG do not seem to enjoy playing against Barcelona. Let me see if there have been any new chats. What a turnaround, Barcelona. Yep. Luis Enrique in the bin. And Dortmund obviously needed that goal. And can they get another one? Zaire Emery showing some real impressive touches since coming on. And he is desperate to try to do his part, to play his part rather, in seeing PSG at least get an equaliser. But Barcelona once again get away. It is Koundé retrieving the ball from Fermin Lopez and body checked cynically there. Koundé still on the floor. And it looks as though it's the substitute Gonzalo Ramos who has gone into the book there for a rather needless, cynical piece of play. No, it's not. It's actually Lucas Beraldo who's in the book. And Fermin Lopez, of course, also yellow carded for his part. Not quite sure what he did, but Taylor having to dish out the cards at the moment as we are just approaching the final minute of normal time. There should be plenty of time for stoppages, substitutions, and the like. Koundé sending it forward. Lewandowski sending it down. It is with Fermin Lopez, but he can't pass it to a teammate effectively, and Emery has to try to get the ball and clear it out, which he does. Not effectively, though, because Koundé has intercepted it. Pedri. Kubasi. João Felix. Pedri again to Cancelo on the left. Cancelo trying to send it into the penalty area, but Felix had overrun it. And once again, PSG have got to try to break. 30 seconds remaining of normal time. And there will be stoppages. Just a reminder. And Barcelona running onto that. The offside flag has not been raised, but great defending there. And once again, Barcelona can clear. 20 seconds to go. And some casual play seems PSG get the ball back. Gonzalo Ramos getting to the thick of things. Hernandez going past Lewandowski there. Finding Mbappe on the left up against Koundé and Ferran Torres. And we've got 4 minutes of time added on at the camp now. We're into stoppage time. Mbappe unable to find a way through. And Araujo shutting off, I think that was Nuno Mendes there. Yep, it was. And Beraldo has to try and play it forward. He does. Vitinha now plays it forward. Finds Nuno Mendes. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he does, very effortlessly. Hoping to find Mbappe in the penalty area, but Christensen, the goal scorer, the super sub, as it were, is able to intercept that weak pass and send it away. But PSG do have the ball. Marquinhos. Hernandez. Dembele. 1 minute of the added time already played. Emery effectively being forced back, and Fermin Lopez also playing his part there. Vitinha, though, with the ball. Sending it out to Barcola on the left. Trying to get him to get in, but combination of Koundé and Araujo ensuring that doesn't go too far. But Mendes. Beraldo. Dembele. Chipping it forward beautifully, but I'm sure Gonzalo Ramos was trying to get a penalty, but there was no way he was going to get it like that. And let's check on what's happening at the Civitas Metropolitan. Well, it's still 2-1, and there are 5 minutes of added time over there. We will get back to that, I promise you. But back to the camp now, and a shot at goal, but goes wide from Mbappe. However, I do believe it took a deflection, so it will be a corner. Yep, going wide off Araujo. And everyone's up there, everyone except Gigi Donnarumma. Corner taken in, right-footed in-swinger, but straight into the grateful hands of Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Dembele it was with the corner there. Well, it just goes to show that not even Mbappe is unstoppable. He can be beaten. And Barcelona could potentially have a chance of trying to score a fourth here. Lewandowski receiving that from Ferran Torres, but dawdling on that ball. He does, however, maintain it. And it is with Ferran Torres who can try and chip it in, but João Felix unable to get to that. And some great work there from, I believe that's Pedri, but it's a PSG throw now, though. Emery, and a poor piece of defensive play there from, I believe that was Gonzalo Ramos there, and Barcelona have the ball, and they can now possibly either play keep ball or maybe try and score a fourth, which would wrap this game up quite beautifully for them. What a game they've played. Lewandowski, Pedri, Koundé, And Araujo sends it all the way back to Ter Stegen. I think they're probably just content to try and eat up some seconds if they can. Ter Stegen sending it forward, hoping to find João Felix, but Hernandez has other ideas. And it is, in fact, full time at the Camp Nou. I mean, the Parc des Princes. Luis Enrique Martinez Garcia beaten by his former teammates and charges. And I will, of course, now take you all the way to the Civitas Metropolitan for the final stages of the Atletico Dortmund game. Dortmund looking a lot sharper in attack, but Atletico Madrid with the ball forward. They could possibly try and make something of it here. Weak shot, really, straight into Kobel's hands. And Dortmund can try and break forward. I'm going to make sure I try and go to the game to see if I can get the names of some of the players. We are into the final minute of time added on. And it is Sancho with the ball now, the soon-to-be former Manchester United winger who's had a fine game tonight. Schlotterbeck, important defensive work from him. Griezmann intercepting it, taking it off Schlotterbeck rather. And Atletico can try and also take it forward, but Borussia have the ball back. 15 seconds left. One last chance to try and score an equaliser for the Germans. Can they do it? Maatsen passing it all the way back to his defenders. It is still with Dortmund at the moment, and they are making some great moves, but intercepted there. But Dortmund still have the ball. They're not giving up on this. This could be the last chance. And yet again, some good defensive work, and the referee should blow his whistle soon. He's still not, though. Dortmund still have the ball. One final chance, maybe. Off the bar! And could that be it? Could that be it? Well, that is it. It was the substitute, the number 19, Julian Brandt, who had a fine header at goal, but it just hit the bar and went away. But I'll tell you what, we've seen some terrific action tonight. And this is one of the reasons why we absolutely love the Champions League. But full time from the Civitas Metropolitan, it is Atletico Madrid 2, Borussia Dortmund 1. Julian Brandt there with that header. Jan Oblak beaten hook, line and sinker, but just unable to nestle into the back of the net. Diego Simeone knows how lucky his team was. And all to play for back at the Signal Iduna Park, or whatever Dortmund Stadium is called these days. And in the other game, of course, an absolute classic at the Parc des Princes. PSG recovering from we're going down 1-0 to take a 2-1 lead within barely minutes of the restart of the second half. But Rafinha, who scored Barcelona's opening goal, equalising. And not too long after he went off, it was an impact substitute, Andreas Christensen, who nodded home the game winner from a corner kick. What absolute drama. What quality action. I have to say, though, that Sony Sports over here in India deserve to be criticised for some pretty poor stuff in terms of the transmission not really working. But eventually it came back on. I was able to see the goal. Christensen's goal, that is. Didn't really miss too much. You weren't able to have too much of a problem either, listening to my voice and also following the action. But Barcelona easily the happier team of the two. Terrific game they've played. Absolutely magnificent in every single way. And all that can be said really is that Barcelona deserved it, and they stay back to applaud their home supporters, but I'm not too sure the ultras will necessarily be happy with that. There are some who are, of course, applauding the team, and they probably know that with Kylian Mbappe set to leave, it could be the end of an era unless they can find a way to turn it around at the Camp Nou. As far as Dortmund are concerned, they're still very much in this tie. Can they possibly make it count at on their home turf next week? We will have to find out. But for the moment, this is the situation as it stands. Atletico Madrid 2, Borussia Dortmund 1, Paris Saint-Germain 2, Barcelona 3, all to play for in the second leg next week. And Rafinha, of course, with his 2 goals, being named man of the match. So all I can say is thank you all very much indeed for joining us. It has been, of course, you know, a bit of a strange day having to go on Restream to do this. And eventually we were able to bring you something, and I'm glad that we were able to, you know, do something for all of you. But all I can say is at the moment, it's been really good fun, and really look forward to hopefully doing some more content back on StreamYard soon. Thank you very much indeed. Has been a good stream, and thank you very much indeed for joining in, and we will hope to see you again very soon. And big up to everyone else in the chat who joined, including Chris Mossing from Mospert, Ports World, AFC Always, BX Gunner 81, and a few others. Ah, yes, Josh as well, True Gooner. Thank you for joining in. And until we meet again, do please take care of yourselves, be safe and be happy, and don't do anything that Hanno and I wouldn't do. But as always, farewell to thee, goodbye, and God bless to all of you. Cheers.